G'day fellas and welcome to A Casted Game. We are here for the brand new season of Age of Empires 4. We are finally here, season number 8. I tell you what, it's been a bit of a wait, hasn't it? It was 3 months that we went in season 7 without a single little update. But fortunately, we have arrived, ladies and gentlemen, in the south of the map. Sorry, still working out my hotkeys here. In the south of the map, in the color green, playing as the Japanese representing Team Elephant. We've got Louis MT. And on the other side of the map, in the color teal, playing as the English, we've got Beastie. Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't already, make sure you go grab something to drink, put your legs up, leave a like on the video, and get comfortable because we are about to head into the danger zone. We got the English, we got the Japanese, two of the best civilizations, the most fun civilizations, I'll say that much. Definitely up there. Quite a few changes have come through to the civilizations in the most recent patch. So for the English, they have received nerfs. They got double nerfed. We saw the White Tower get nerfed. Obviously, there was that big Reddit thread, which naturally just kind of led to them getting nerfed because the devs, they spent a lot of time on it. Not really. White Tower was just a very good landmark. And then, of course, the other big change was the king. So the king spawning from the Abbey of Kings in the early game, they've just delayed that coming out. I think it used to be 35 seconds, I want to say, and it's gone up to 50 seconds now. So about a 15-second delay. On the side of the Japanese, there's a couple of other changes that were made. So the big one that we're going to be looking for is going to be for the Yumi Ashigaru. So the Yumi Ashigaru is the unique archer that the Japanese have got access to. It starts in the Feudal Age, and essentially, they've got an extra 5 health. And you might look at 5 health and think, it's not really that much stronger. But you got to remember that starts to stack up, right? When you're talking from 60 up to 65 health, that starts to make a bit of a difference. And when you throw in a couple of different armor values as well onto that, it's a pretty big difference. So I'm going to be looking forward to that. Apologies as well if you see the screen go black. I've recently, when I say recently, within the last couple of days, this is the first cast using it, I've recently changed my keyboard. So my old keyboard, nothing wrong with it, but I said I kind of miss having a wireless keyboard. So I've switched over. I've got a Keychron. Keychron? Yeah, I think it's a Keychron. I want to say it's a Keychron Q1 Max. Or it might be a Pro. I'm not sure, but it's like a 75% keyboard, which is really nice. This is what I was using in the Philippines. My brother-in-law hooked me up with something very similar, one of the glorious keyboards, but I couldn't find a wireless one, so I said this is probably close enough. But anyway, it doesn't have the numpad, which is what I normally use, so I've changed my keys around. That's the long story short. Well, probably the short story long, realistically. Yeah, so apologies if you see it like a black screen or something like that. That's just me like messing up my buttons. But we do have the age ups coming through, so it's going to be the Abbey of Kings through for Beastie. On the other side of the map, we are going to see Louis throwing down the Kura storehouse. Now, there was a part of me that was thinking he might look to go into the Coca Township because it has received some buffs. Well, not the Coca Township specifically, but the Shinobi did receive some buffs in the most recent patch. So it was very small things like reducing the time it takes to throw out like your what's it called, Shunshin, the little jump that you did, and it also reduced the animation time that it took when it was when you were sabotaging a building. So a couple of little changes, but definitely not enough to bring it really into the mainstream on land maps. On water maps, you can definitely justify it if you can get that super fast age up in, but obviously when it comes to a map like this, there's not a whole lot of water that's going to be happening, especially against the English. Now, you will have noticed we do already have villagers out on stone for both players. One thing to note though, Louis didn't opt to go with that build that we saw quite popular in Season 7. Was it Season 7? Maybe even in Season 6. It was quite a while ago, but once the new civs came out, very quickly it rose to the top where you just kind of keep all your villagers on stone throughout the Dark Age, and then upon rising to the Feudal Age, you'd have enough to not only age up, but to throw down a second town center. Not going to be the case today. Beastie on the other side of the map, though. He ages up. Pretty decent timing on this age up as well, about the 4 minutes 20 mark, so quite early. And we do see the king is now coming through, so it's going to take a full 50 seconds to crown that king. That is quite some time. Ville's now coming in off the stone. It's going to be moving down here towards the gold, so I suspect that these Ville's going to be looking to throw down the town center on the gold, which indicates it's only going to be the 2 TC play here for him. So I'm curious to see whether we're going to see either of these players shift away from 2 TC into 3 TC. For the Japanese, for Louis, I feel like 2TC is probably the play to go, though. The power that you get from 2TC is just incredible because it gives you a lot of tempo. Once you reach the castle age, you've got access to picking up relics, taking sacred sites, and of course, those mounted samurai are incredible. So I'm going to be curious to see exactly how Beastie looks to tackle that, because if Louis is just going to play this very simply, which is just the 2 town center fast castle, I don't know how Beastie's going to be able to hold up, but we do already see that king now out on the map. 5 minutes and 20 seconds into the game. He manages to spot out the scout here. We're right on board with Louis as he looks to try and evade the king as best he can. You can see Beastie's got no clue where he's gone and has managed to evade him. We do see plenty of sheep. Keep in mind there is a little bit of a sheep change as well, which is now online. So it means that there's overall there is less food on the map, but it basically means that both players will have a little bit more even footing when it comes to picking up the sheep, just because it could be quite a bit of a swing. I guess somewhat ironically, both of these civilizations are civs that you don't actually need a whole lot of sheep. Quite early with the Japanese, you'll actually just not have sheep anymore, and same thing with the English. Take a look at this town center location, though. Beastie really managing to tuck it in there right against the edge. 4 vils to wood, 4 vils to gold. It's going to be a slow and steady crawl here. We might see a couple units out, but I think both of these guys are going to be destined towards that castle age. I almost said that heroic age right there. If you haven't already checked it out, I mean, you've probably seen it, right? We've been casting a lot of Age of Mythology. I've been enjoying it a lot. It has been really nice. It's been really fresh compared to Age of Empires 4. Now, don't get me wrong. I love Age of Empires 4, but I guess especially, I felt like I was probably at my lowest low with Age of Empires 4 in the last season. Actually, you know what? I take that back. There was some pretty dark days back there for Age of Empires 4. I think, like, the animation canceling era was pretty sad, just because it was like, it felt like something that should have been hotfixed, and it just never was, and it was like, it's so boring. But anyway, ooh, I just realized it might be difficult for us to see the colors here. Hold on, let's see if I can work some magic here. Oh, no, that didn't work. Let's try this button. Nope, that didn't work. Let's try this button. I don't think I've got the button on my keyboard set at the moment. I could go into the options and change it, but I don't know exactly where it is. I want to turn on friendly faux colors. I was playing around with page up, page down. I don't think I've got the key. But take a look at this. We do have Louis looking to put down... Oh, I love it. Look at the response from Louis. We've got ourselves a little bit of a king on oh, jeez, I've forgotten what these guys are called. Daimyo? Is it the Daimyo? No, the Uma Bename. Where is Daimyo from? Daimyo's from Age of Empires 3. Apologies. I'm all over the shop. After that quick little stint in Age of Mythology, the brain's been absolutely fried. But anyway, look. It's I'm looking forward to Age of Mythology. I'm confident there's going to be a pretty big portion of you Age of Empires 4 guys that are going to be looking forward to it as well. At the moment, the general plan going forward is that we're probably just going to do 1 video a day, Age of Mythology, 1 video a day, Age of Empires 4. We'll see how that goes. We might end up posting on the second channel instead. You never know how these things go, because normally YouTube can be pretty unforgiving if you're going to split games and split a community over different videos. But we can always, we'll give it a little bit of a run and see how it goes. Anyway, we do now start to see the military numbers building for Beastie here. Now, keep in mind, he does have those 4 vils on gold, which to me indicates there is still going to be a relatively quick castle age timing here for him. Let's take a look down on that south side, though, and you can see, you know, when I say quick castle age timings, I guess that's with the exception of, with this piece of information. Have a look at that. 14 vils. You want to know why this is? It's because Louis has spotted out these units on the way, and he said, oh, no. We're in trouble. You want to know another thing a little bit concerning here for Louis? When it comes to gold, his secondary gold's out on the front here. Like, compare Beasties as an example. Gold on the front. And he does have a secondary gold right here, but there's a gold at the back of his base, which is pretty decent because he's got double-sided back golds. So it gives him a little bit more flexibility in relation to that. Whereas you compare Louis, he's got double back golds, but it's over on this eastern corner. So it's very easy for Beastie to shut this down. I wouldn't be surprised if we just see the king out here do a little bit of a back and forward just to make sure that nothing's happening out here. Then between these two in the middle, you can do the same thing. And then, of course, then your final thing is down here. And you can pretty much starve your opponent off gold completely. I don't see any real way he's going to be able to get access to gold. But take a look at this. First villager of the game will be going down. Louis MT going to be picking it up with the Uma Banaman. Picks up a little sheep as well for his hard work. Vill count is still rising for both of these players relatively quickly. Keep in mind, they're both on 2 TCs. No prospect of a 3rd TC. I'm kind of curious to see whether Beastie goes into the White Tower here or whether he goes into the King's Palace. I feel like when your opponent's on or gone into the going 2 TC fast castle, it kind of makes sense just to go into the King's Palace, right? 3 TC and then just play defensively and then go for a push around like 20 minutes-ish, 24 minutes. You could even go for Imperial. King actually gets taken out right there. That's a big one. Nice little position from Louis as he is on the defensive, and we do start to see it is going to be a bit more of a feudal play. So definitely more units than I was expecting, and I think definitely more units than Louis MT was expecting, at least initially. Benaman trying once again to take out that villager. Not going to happen. Benaman Aura now going to be thrown down on the ground as there it is, the outpost. A lot of units here, not a lot of health though on that villager. Beastie really testing himself here with only bringing up that one villager at a time. A lot of farms now starting to come down as well back behind this. Unit numbers do continue to build. This is kind of wild to me. I didn't expect that we'd see this. I think this is largely because of the front gold. Normally in this situation, if you're going 2 TC, but like both of you guys are going 2 TC, you should just be able to go fast castle without too many issues afterwards, just because like it's very easy to go in this situation, just go into samurai or, you know, a combination of samurai horsemen, samurai together with the mounted samurai, or just mounted samurai against the spears. And that would kind of force Beastie to go up himself. But yes, at this stage though, Louis on the defensive, it's going to be tough. Only does yet to have his textiles. Yumi Ashigari going to start pushing forward here. Curious to see exactly how they perform, as we do now have the Benaman coming out for the Yumi Ashigari. He's looking to push up on top of the longbows. We'll be able to take out that battering ram, and now, once he's on top of the longbows, shouldn't have too much trouble here taking them out. Keep in mind, he's got the Benaman in there as well. A little bit of damage onto those horsemen, but he is able to force back all of those spears, takes them out, and the longbows get away. So, well played by Beastie to manage to salvage this. You can see, keep in mind, with the Yumi Ashigaru, they're very, very fast. The longbows are very, very slow compared to your standard archer, right? The longbows so 1.25 is the standard speed for an archer. So longbows are below that by 0.13, and Yumi Ashigaru are above that by 0.13. So there's quite a bit of speed difference between these two. So Louis got to be careful about getting too close to the enemy side of the map. That's the other thing to note, because there could be reinforcements lying in wait for him, and then he could get caught out of position. Obviously, he does have a little bit more of a speed advantage here, so unlikely to be too impactful, but a nice little cleanup on the other side of the map by Louis. He's going to fall back away from this. No, spears. Is he able to manage to do a little bit of damage? 0 health. All right, fair enough. We'll allow it. Let's check in with Louis, though. See how he's doing on this south side of the map. Plenty of production down here on the south side. A lot of archers still in queue. In fact, he's got 5 rangers. If anything, this is almost calling like the Temple of Equality for me right now as a potential option, just because going into the floating gate makes a lot of sense when you're going up quick to the castle age, because you get a lot of power from immediately putting down a stable or a Rax or an archery range and then putting the Yorishiro inside it. Like, that's a massive power spike that you get. But once you've got your infrastructure set up, now that you've got lots of farms that are coming out, it feels like it's less significant getting that up. Obviously, it's nice to be able to get the free priests on the way through, and it's, you know, you can always throw the Yorishiro into, throw them into the forge onto the backside. That's always an option, but have a look at this. Very, very sneaky here by Louis. It looks like he managed to pick up another villager here underneath the lumber camp. A few more villas going to be coming out at this stage of the game. We'll switch it over to income per minute. Get a bit of an idea on where these two are at compared to each other. Have a look at this. Louis on 116. He's going to be gathering up stone to actually get the rest of that gold through, it looks like. You can see he's so close to clicking up, and I think this is really where it came down to just diversifying out to these positions. Like an outpost with 5 villas here would have gone a really long way for Louis, just because that would have given him such a nice little stream of gold over the last couple of minutes or two. Towards that north side, where are those green units? We'll continue looking. Oh, they're on the back way here. Keep in mind, we do have the Benaman with the army, but now on the south side of the map, it looks like the battering ram is going to start to be sieged down. Outpost has got the fortifications through. Yumi Ashigaru numbers are looking really good and healthy right now for Louis MT. And Beastie Cutie finds himself in a little bit of trouble towards this south side of the map. Has he pushed a little too far? Now the men-at-arms are going to start to come out. This is exactly where he wants to turn the tide, but the numbers that Beastie's got when it comes to the longbows is nowhere near sufficient to justify going into the men-at-arms. Normally, you'd want to be going into about 25 to 30 longbows before you switched it over, but you can see the Yumi Ashigaru able to completely engulf those longbows. The English nerf, I can feel Beastie right now. He is feeling it, that is for sure. And definitely, at this stage of the game, Louis MT is feeling very good about the Japanese position. Done a wonderful job to kite throughout that fight. And now he should have enough resources to click that age up button. Let's go right on board with him. And indeed, it is going to be the case. So floating gate is going to be the way. Standard, pretty much standard age up for 99% of the games that you're going to play, unless you want to meme in some FFA, which, by the way, do you guys want to see some more FFA or what? I tell you what, I've been missing my FFA. I'm thinking that we might get back into it. What do you reckon? Season 8's back online. Who do we start with? Maybe we just go back into it with the English. I think that might be a good call. I'm looking forward to playing some FFA. I'm sure you guys are excited to see it. Anyway, the age up is now through. It's going to be the floating gate, and immediately we see that Yorishiro going to be placed down into the stable. To me, this is a mistake. This is a big mistake. You're already in a position where you've got 73 villagers. You have put the Yorishiro in the stable, which, if anything, is worth 2 more stables. That's only 300 wood. And that's a maxed out amount. That's a capped amount. Compared to like a Yorishiro in a farmhouse, which is 75 per minute for the rest of the game. Just doesn't make sense to me. It really doesn't make sense. I think this is a massive mistake by Louis MT. And to me, it's not even a subjective mistake. To me, that's an objective mistake. There's no real discussing it. And sure, you might be able to say, yeah, but Drongo, maybe he's going to use the stable to get really quick veterancy upgrades for his horsemen. Bro, he's got no horsemen. Like, he's got 2 horsemen on the field. If you're getting veterancy for 2 horsemen, something wrong with you. Anyway, I digress. Who knows? Maybe he'll go Imperial. Maybe he's thinking like, I'll get 15 mounted samurai out, then I'll go Imperial, and then quickly upgrade them into Imperial mounted or elite mounted samurai, and that's when I'll strike. And okay, that could be big brain. I actually think that would actually be a sick play. Let's see how much that actually happens though. Keep in mind, he's on 2 TC, so he's had a very healthy economy throughout this game. Another Ville goes down, but never mind that. The King's Palace is online. Have a look at the relics. First one picked up now from Louis. Second one probably going to be taken very, very soon. We can see Outpost going to start coming up for him as well. Let's get a little bit more of an insight as to the line of sight for him. Towards the top side of the base, he's going to be able to draw these units up. And by doing this, he is delaying the opponent. Keep in mind, he has the speed advantage in these fights. No Bannerman. Actually, I take it back. There is a Bannerman here, but why is it not showing? Oh, there you can see it. He's got the bonus 6+3, so he's getting that extra little bit. But at this stage, Louis going to be switching into a big amount of men-at-arms. No mounted armor. No, I can get it. Don't worry. There is no armor cladding. Armor cladding, armor chatting. That's the one. No armor chatting through yet, but it has arrived. Do not fret. Do not worry. And now slowly the worker kills are coming in. You can see he's managed to pick off quite a few. Textile's not actually through for Beastie. More units being rallied towards the front. Look at the number of units here. This is a scary amount of units if you don't have an answer to this. But keep in mind that Louis is making mounted samurai, but on the other side, we see crossbows starting to build here as well. And this should be a little spot here for Louis to see that. He should be able to see, okay, there's crossbows starting to come out now. Maybe I need to think about moving into a mango, perhaps, as an option, because I don't think he's going to have an answer to it. And look at that. Men-at-Arms doing a great job cleaning up. Alternatives are... I mean, realistically, he could probably look at going to Imperial Age, but I don't know if you're going to be able to hold. That's the other thing. Like, maybe you could hold into a... Actually, that could be a play. If you hold and then get your Reboldiquin out, that could be a play. Hold for a Rebold. I like that. I like that. All right. Well, the unit numbers have swung in favor of Beastie significantly. Right now, Louis is not in the best spot. And, in fact, he's not training many units. I don't know exactly what's going on here, but... Perhaps during that fight. No, it doesn't look like any workers have been taken out during that fight. I'm not sure exactly what's going on with the economy of Louis, but if we compare the pair, it looks like about 3,300 for Louis, and then on the side of Beastie, well, Beastie's been idle as well. That's the other thing to note. So it's not really a fair comparison. So I'm not going to accept the 2,300 offer here from Beastie. I would prefer a higher offer right now, Beastie, if I was you. So you're going to have to bring it up a little bit. Maybe 2,800. Let's see what you got. Okay, let's have another look. Still hovering around that 2,400 mark. Has he got his upgrades in? He's got most of the upgrades in. No acid distillation yet. No specialized pick, though. And now Mounted Samurai going to make their way through. One thing to note, though, is that Mounted Samurai breaking through, he should be able to manage this attack at home, which means that the army on the front is still going to be able to push. And I don't think Louis got a response to this at the moment. There's nothing he can really do. I mean, he's building up mounted... oh my gosh, I've forgotten their names. Onimusha, jeez. He is building up Onimusha. Together with the Honor Bugatti, but I don't know if that's going to be enough, and he wants to avoid fighting right now. Like, you at all costs, you need to avoid fighting. If he was playing Age of Mythology, I'd be saying, like, ceasefire, ceasefire, use the ceasefire, man. That's a lot of vills, that's a lot of vills. Those Mounted Sams still in the back of the base. He's taken out 3 workers in that time, but Louis asleep at the wheel. Now, those Onimusha towards the top side, Onabagation towards the bottom side, looking to come through, but the men-at-arm numbers are way too high. I don't think there's any way that Beastie loses this fight. The men-at-arms are just too strong, and it's such a smart move by Beastie to just commit to this push right now, because he knows his opponent is on the weak side. Onimusha continue to rally in with a couple of Onabagation as well from that top side. He's slowly working it down. Hold your horses, Drongo. Don't call it just yet. It ain't over to the fat lady sing. And I'll tell you what, she's not singing. I don't hear her just yet. But those men-at-arm numbers are really... Have a look at this, man. Like, it is so difficult to deal with this. Now, my question is, how many vills have we lost? Only 11 vills so far. It's not a huge loss here. I think this is still 100% defendable on the side of Louis. It's just about, like, to me, the reality is he didn't get walls up. So Beastie was just able to walk through, and now he can kind of flood into any position that he wants. Like, if we go right... Oh, my God. What happened to that music? If we go right on board with the view of Beastie, right, now he can just kind of run through here. And the consequence of that is that vills are just going to get caught out of position everywhere, because all the army was inside the base, and now it's going to be escaping from the base rather than having to go back through the long way of, you know, these walls. So I feel like that's definitely a bit of a mistake. I don't think it would have changed anything, though, but... I mean, Louis' vill number is still pretty decent here. A couple more workers going to get caught out. He's managing to keep the opponent's attention on his side of the map as well. So Louis manages to stave off this aggression, at least for a moment. But it will rebuild, and it will come back a lot stronger. I don't know where it really went wrong for Beastie, though, to be honest. Oh, sorry, for Louis. For Louis, I don't know where it's gone wrong. Was it just... Did he invest too much in the Yumi Ashigaru and then didn't get enough for them? Perhaps that was it? Because he did kind of just throw them away. But even then, like, you've thrown them away, they're kind of useless, right? Like, it's the typical thing that you do. You mass up archers in the Feudal Age, you get to castle. Either you upgrade them all to veteran, so you get your +2s and keep them, or you just throw them away. And it was kind of like he did a bit of both. So maybe that's a bit of a mistake. But we do see a slow switch coming through. You will notice that Odachi is on the way for Louis. So he's going to start moving into Samurai. No, that's... no, that is Samurai. You got the Samurai, and then you got the Bageisha. So 5 Samurais now starting to come out. Onimusha on the backside. Able to clean up here. Now, I'd really be looking to fight underneath the Daimyo Palace. I think that's super duper important here. Battering rams are going to start coming in as well. But this is not going to be an easy hold. Third relic is now in... Or fourth relic, rather, is now in possession of Louis. Looks like Beastie has decided against attacking into it. Probably the smart move. Not a lot of damage on those men-at-arms. More men-at-arms starting to raid through on that north side. So, once again, I feel like this is, you know, the wall's not coming up soon enough. The Beastie now pushing a lot of... Oh, he's switched into longbows. He's gone into longbow men-at-arms, so not even making crossbows. This could be bad, actually. If the Samurais get their +2s, and they do all have they've got their +2s, except for the +2 melee attack. And that kind of hurts, right? Hold on. Does he not have... Oh, no, never mind. He's got +2 melee. It's bugged. Technically, he's got +3 melee. It's bugged. We're watching a Japanese game here, by the way. That's why that's happening. And for anybody wondering, yeah, the wheelbarrow is level 2. I totally forgot about that. And he doesn't have food upgrade, so don't get excited. And lumber, it looks like the wood upgrade doesn't count either. I can't remember if it was always that way or if it's only just that way recently. But anyway, you can expect that to be fixed in the next 6 months. We'll get onto it soon. But have a look at this. Samurai numbers are pretty decent. 20 Samurai on the field now. With the Odachi upgrade, with all the +2s and the +3, there's a good chance that Louis MT rolls over the top of Beastie right now. Beastie got to be careful. He's pushing up very, very methodically. Doesn't have an outpost extended all the way to the front. King also going to be arriving on the battlefield. And ladies and gentlemen, 55 military pop against 84. Beastie's got a decent little spot, though. Keep in mind, though, we do have these buildings that are kind of preventing things from coming through. Samurai, I don't know why he's falling back away from this fight. I thought this was a decent fight for him. He's going to try his best to strip the enemy away slowly, it seems. Maybe losing out a couple of landmarks. We do see the Yorishiro inside. Unfortunately, just going to get smashed in the face. We see that Yorishiro explode as the priest dies. And now, Samurai starting to move forward on the backside. The veterancy on those longbows going to be able to pierce through a little bit of extra armor coming through from those Samurai. The Onabagation working together. The King on the backside also doing a bit of healing. And now the Onimusha coming in, looking to provide a little bit of support on that front line. But all of the units have just been completely obliterated. Even though there's no crossbows, or barely any crossbows here, Louis MT has just been absolutely demolished. there was a pretty close number there, 55 against 84, but the key difference here is that the surface area for Louis MT was way too limited. He just didn't have enough places that he could fight and or make a connection, and as a result of that, the mass from Beastie is still strong, and now he can rally in crossbows, which just guarantee that the composition that's coming out from Louis is just inefficient, because now you've got longbows to deal with the Honor Geisha, crossbows to deal with the samurai. There's nothing. I feel like there's absolutely nothing that he can do, and Beastie's just absolutely read him like a book. That's really what it is. You know, the fact that he switched in, he was men-at-arm crossbow, and then he switched off the crossbow into longbow, and he did that at the perfect time, and now he's switching back into crossbow. You can see 10 more crossbows are in, and it's not going to matter. Ladies and gentlemen, that is game. I think that might be our very first Beastie victory cast on the channel, but I tell you what, it is a juicy one. Season 8 is finally here, fellas. Make sure, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, and of course, we'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Oh, and check out Beastie. I'll leave a link, but you already know that.